Where's Steve? Is he downtown already? Did he beat us down again? There he goes. Did you see him? Just saw him. It's hard to beat Steve to the door now. Surprised Mitt's not here yet. 61 degrees at 7:47 on September 29th. There was a full moon this morning. Could you feel it? Did you have a lot of weird dreams last night, T-Rex? I know I did. I believe there is a correlation between the heavens and the dreams, especially the moon. I'm not sure about all the different planets and stuff like that, but oh boy, things are aligned for another slow motion rain disaster in the northeastern United States. Oh, the guidance had it a week ago. The Euro said this was going to be bad. Remember, we showed that map a week ago with about a foot of rain near New Jersey. That was probably last Friday or so. And then over the weekend, while we were watching last weekend's hybrid nor'easter on a Saturday, the guidance kind of lost this system. Well, this morning, some of the remnant DNA of Ophelia is being absorbed by this upper level low coming out of the Midwest. I've failed to mention over the last several days how much of an influence I thought this would have. The upper low coming in from Ohio, and that is a venting aloft. Venting aloft, that means there's a lot of wind way up in the sky. And when you have more wind up in the sky than down near the ground, that causes upward motion of the air. Just think of it as sort of a vacuum up in the sky. And it's illustrated in a couple ways. First, let's look at this satellite image with those tremendous thunderstorms and flooding rains near New Jersey, coast of New Jersey, and New York City. Areas have already had 2 inches of rain, and it's going to go for about another 24 hours. Not at this intensity. Now, here's the velocity azimuth display over New York City. Down near the ground, 1,000 feet or so, the wind is out of the east and the northeast at 10 to 20 knots. And then you go up, it becomes light from first southeast, then south-southwest. And at the very top there, 35,000 feet, there's your suction aloft, 50 knots at 30,000 feet. That's just causing the air to rise and converge and pour rain. Precipitable waters are in the order of 1 to 2 inches, so we're getting 1 to 2 inches per hour. Now, it's very subtle where this heaviest rain is focused. Let's look at the surface map. That little orange line, you see the high pressure over Maine and the Gulf of Maine, then there's another one in western New York. Well, between those two high pressure systems, there's a little bit of a surface convergence trough. That's that orange line that sort of sits there this morning, this afternoon, and still this evening. It's still there. And so it doesn't really show up in the surface wind, but if you look at about 925 millibars, about 2,500 feet, it really shows up in the speed convergence with that southeast wind coming right across Long Island and into Connecticut, and then much lighter wind on the west side of that. So that's surface convergence, and that's another ingredient to cause the air to rise, cool, and condense, making these tremendous downpours. So the Euro has really backed off the rainfall from my neighborhood, no longer going for 3 to 5 inches. But in a global sense, for a global model, the fact that that kind of rainfall is occurring in Connecticut and New York and New Jersey, that's pretty good forecasting there by the Euro. The Euro definitely won on this. All the other guidance about 3 days ago had it all missing off to the south. The Euro had it first, lost it, and now has it back. And now the Euro only has about an inch of rain in Boston. But other guidance is wetter. The NAM, Foos, I look at the Foos. That's what the Foos looks like. All those digits, dot, dot, digit, dot, dot. Anyhow, it adds up to 2 inches of rain in Boston and more than 6 inches of rain in New York City. And here it is in graphic form. This is the NAM rainfall forecast, and it seems pretty reasonable to me at this point. The rain arrived way ahead of schedule as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't even supposed to rain in southern Vermont and southwestern New Hampshire, but that rain is funny. It's over where it was so cold the last few days. The lean cold rule. I don't think the lean cold rule is as responsible for this rain as the surface convergence and mid-level convergence and upper venting, personally. Yeah, deep dive into meteorology this morning. So what about eastern Massachusetts? The rain on the radar is moving pretty much, I know, T-Rex, let's make the call. The rain on the radar is moving pretty much due north along that surface convergence line, but that surface convergent line should ever so slowly shift to the east. And this is somewhat alarming. Where the 700 millibar, we showed this yesterday for tomorrow morning. There was just a little blue spot over the coast of Maine. Well, look at the size of the blue. That would be freezing air at 10,000 feet now across much of central New England. This is for tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. So that's when the heaviest rain shifts into eastern New England. Yeah, this is a long duration event. And so I think the rainfall is underdone now from Portland, Maine to Concord, New Hampshire to Boston. I think we are going to be looking at inches of rain. And once again, I'll issue a citizens flood watch. We already have flash flooding happening in New York City. So the wind isn't that bad today. Look at that. It's still from the northeast, but the flag is laid down finally for a change. So it's not going to be quite as windy, I don't think, tomorrow, as I was telling my friends for tomorrow here in the Boston, Cape Cod area. The heaviest wind wants to kind of stay to the south. You want to see something interesting? Let's look. I think I already showed you the upper level flow, but what happens when you get this low pressure system underneath a cutoff low pressure system that's going south of New England, you get a looping low. A loop. So the low, it's not really old Ophelia, but you can see it there looping around south of New England and kind of digging south and east a little bit tomorrow after moving north and west last night and today. And that means that the heaviest wind should stay just offshore, those darker colors, yeah. Hope I timed that well. You know, I don't have any script out here, and I'm trying to visualize all my graphics. And here's the weather.us 3 to 5 day for Boston. And you can see the rain nowhere near as intense, but still here coming in tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, it's a very slow slog eastward with this rain. And then Sunday still looks beautiful. Sunday, sunshine. Yes. And the temperature will be around 70 with light variable wind. And then it's actually may have a day or two with winds from the west, or at least light and variable, mostly from the west on Monday and Tuesday. But then there's another subtlety Monday night or Tuesday night. It looks like we want to get a sort of a backdoor cold front, very weak backdoor cold front coming into parts of eastern New England. So while western New England and maybe parts of northern New England for a time could be near 80 with record warmth for a time next week, it looks like the flow is going to come back in off the ocean. No big deal. Really nice weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh no, did he say really nice weather on a Wednesday? What does that mean about next Saturday? Well, we're going to have a high pressure system in southeastern Canada with convergence south of us, and it looks like there may be another one of these south and west side of high pressure system, low pressure system, trying to bring us rain again next Saturday. Does it have anything to do with the tropics? I don't think so. Do you want to see something funny? Yesterday, Philippe was forecast to go into the Caribbean and fall apart, right? And Rena was going to be the main show. Well, that's totally changed now. The forecast for Philippe has changed so many times with direction and intensity. Now let's look at the put him in motion. There is Rena trying to pass on the inside, and then, oh wait, Rena falling apart. And Philippe gathering momentum and reforming perhaps into a hurricane to the east of Bermuda in 7 days. Whereas yesterday, even the National Hurricane Center had it falling apart over the Caribbean as a tropical depression. Weather is hard. So is lobstering. He was out there 2 days ago emptying his pots, and there he is again today. You know how I love watching the water and the boats, and I'm just amazed at the effort that boat owners and marinas put into taking such great care of their craft. And yesterday I had a great time watching Scalisi Marine pulling these huge power boats out of the water for the winter. I have a bunch of time lapses and what were they called? I shot some in video, and I speed up the video, and I shot others with the time lapse feature on my new iPhone. So I haven't even seen it yet. So I'll edit in a few of those I'll do a more extensive video on yesterday at Bert's and publish that for you guys later on. For now, I'm gonna go gather T-Rex, say good morning to Steve, and say good morning to you. It's gonna be a long 36 hours. Maybe I'll do a YouTube live if I get a chance. Long duration storm, unfortunately, is gonna be pretty nasty results for a lot of people, with inches of rain and more flooding again. 2023 doing 20 of 23 weather. All right, Rex, let's go in. 5th day in a row with wind from the northeast, though it's not a nor'easter, it's just sort of a high barometer to the north, low barometer to the south. Not a bad day. Not a bad day for pulling boats or doing a little sailing first thing in the morning. Don't see them often under sail this close to shore here. Appreciate this. Some fancy driving there. I'd be nervous. Hi, Leif. I don't know where Leif is. A lot of time lapse in this one today. It's a nautical themed one again. What's new, Tim? Within 24 hours of the full harvest moon, tide runs really strong this weekend. Very low, very high. Sense of anticipation. The cormorants on the right. What are those? Terns on the left. Did they fly south? They're all waiting for something to happen. Something. Some action this morning. Days like today, you hurry up and wait. Request clearance to come ashore. Stand by. Just about high tide. Perfect time for Holland boats. Incoming. Huntress coming in for the winter. Good day for it. Thursday, September 28th. Next. Is it lunchtime yet?
Side och på. Även där är det. I go 4 side down, will that be the same thing? Yep, by the way.
He's doing it all with his hands.
Depends on which button.
The clicker.
So we're going down, so
The
it's
clicker.
easier to go down
It's his
than
hand.
going up. And that's looking pretty good. All right, lock it there.
All right, that's a wrap. Just past noontime. Boat is stable. Next up, the erector set. Cover it up before the next storm moves in. The gnat sound of the crickets got me. And the silhouette of the sun through the smoking clouds. How could I not share this one too?